Hey guys, this is your relationship consultant, Heath Wiggins. I provide tips and advice to faith-oriented millennials who are actively pursuing their purpose and relationship goals. And welcome to my YouTube channel, The Millennial Dating Chronicles, where we share real-life stories of young adults as they navigate their way through this big, confusing arena called dating. These stories are intended to inspire and educate you on how best you can navigate your own personal dating story. So today we're going to be talking about money in relationships, specifically the impact money has on the relationship goals of women who make more money than their men. In the arena of dating, you go through certain stages. You meet someone, you start talking, you consider getting into a relationship, and then if it all goes well, you enter into like a full-blown relationship. It may vary from person to person, but that's pretty much the stages that you go through. But the issue of money typically doesn't come up in the dating or the talking stage. It typically comes up in the considering a relationship or in a relationship stage. And why is that? That's because their money habits start to affect you. For example, if their money habits make you feel happy, secure, and they align with your relationship goals, then you're more than likely going to pursue that relationship further. Conversely, if their money habits, whatever they are, make you feel frustrated or unstable or insecure or unsecure, then you more than likely are going to be looking for your purse, your hat, your coat, and your scarf and trying to find a strategy about how to get out this situation. And this is where we meet Tiffany.
Tiffany Denham, 34 years old, and I currently live in Bowie, Maryland, but I'm originally from Memphis, Tennessee. And I think that helps to form a lot of my thought as it pertains to relationships and stuff.
Tiffany was at the intersection of where his money habits were intersecting with her happiness, her security, and her relationship goals. We're going to watch Tiffany's interview, and you let me know in the comments below if you agree with what Tiffany did, and we're going to come back on the other side and talk about it. And we're also going to talk about if you saw what I saw was the influence behind Tiffany's decision. And then I'm going to give you some tips and advice about what you can do if you find yourself in that same situation.
I define dating as getting to know someone with the intentions of moving forward to something more lasting. So spending time with someone exclusively to see if you indeed want to pursue the opportunity of marriage. So what does it look like now as opposed to what it looked like in college? I think now it's a little, I'm not willing to put up with as much as I was when I was in college. I mean, because we were young. Like now, I'm 34 years old. So at 34 years old, financially, there's some things that I expect from you. Whereas when I was in high school, I know you don't have any money. It's cool, I don't have any money either. But the past relationship that I was in, that was one of the reasons why we had to end it, because financially he just was not at the place to be pursuing a relationship. We talked for about, June of 2017 to October of 2017. In that relationship is when I realized I always knew finances was important, but in that relationship I realized not just finances, it wasn't that finances were important, but it was how you managed your finances that was important to me. Just being perfectly transparent, he made significantly less than I did. And I wouldn't have had a problem with that if he had shown me that he was able to manage what he had. And he had showed me on numbers of occasions that he was not. And so it was a red flag for me, because you can't manage this little bit. And so I have worked diligently in trying to make certain that I can take care of myself, because I don't have anybody else to call on. I can call my parents, but my my responsibilities financially are greater than theirs. So I can't call them and be like, Ma, I need you to pay my mortgage and this, this. And she's like, girl, like it gave me anxiety to even think like, oh my gosh, like Tiffany, this is somebody that you're considering potentially for marriage. And he's showing you that he can't handle this little bit. So he's not going to be able to handle, and his heart is in a good place. Like at the end of the day, like he was trying to do what he felt he should have done as far as helping people, but you can't help people if you don't have. I get that you're a giver, but at the end of the day, if you don't have anything to give, you cannot give. And even when I shared that with him, he did not understand where I was coming from. It may have also had a lot to do with his upbringing and where he was, like, he's not American. Like we always like, we got to get ours, where other cultures are, we have to help each other. And even if that means it's a burden for me and financially it's a burden for me, like he was willing to sacrifice his needs to provide for someone else when I necessarily did not think that was wise. Like, don't give somebody money for something when this is money for a bill that you have. Like, you don't have it. You know what I mean? So he didn't understand that. Although he had a very big heart, I saw that he made very unwise decisions with his money. And so that caused me to like say, I can't trust, you know what I'm saying? I can't trust that when we go into a relationship, you will make wise decisions with our money. And so, yeah, finances are very important for me. Do you have to make us, a lot of money or even as much money as I do? No, you don't. But I feel like you have to be mentally, you have to be wise. It's not just how much you have, but how well you're willing to and able to manage what you have. And so I was just like, yeah, I can't do this. Like,
So what did you see? What did you hear? What did you observe? Let me know in the comments below if you would have done the same thing Tiffany did in that situation. So now we're going to talk about what I saw, and let me know if you saw it also. See, this story, and thank you, Tiffany, for sharing your story. This story is about money, but it's more so about values and the value of money. And let me break down the difference between values and behavior. Your values are a conglomeration of your beliefs that you have accumulated from early childhood to young adult to adult, and the conglomeration of those are your value system and things that are so intrinsically embedded in you that they are assumptions almost now. They're like intuition, and they reside in the subconscious part of your brain. You don't have to think about them. That's just who you are. You know what I mean? However, your behavior are things that you actually do. The action that you do in response to a certain thing, that's your behavior. And so with respect to money and the influence of money in relationships, Tiffany has a value system where money, you need to save your money, you need to pay your bills, and you need to do the right thing with money. You need to have proper money management skills. And that's a value that she has. And she's looking at his behavior and saying, you don't understand how to use money properly. Your behavior does not line up with my values. And that's why it's a disconnect when she talks about the intersection of his financial management and what her relationship goals are. But I'm not blaming him because, as she talked about in the video, he has a value system where family, it's all about family. It's all about helping other people. It's all about making sure that somebody else is good, even if I have to be without, which is a value system that's so intrinsically and subconsciously embedded in him that he doesn't think about it. So when she presents her value system of you have to pay your bills and you can't take this money that's for a bill and use it for something else, he doesn't understand it because it's subconsciously in his brain of what it is that he should be doing for someone else. And I'm not blaming either one of them, but that is the reason why, that's the reason why I believe that relationship would have never worked, because they would always be, their behavior would always be conflicting and competing with their different value systems. So what should you do if you are a woman and you make more money than him and you are in a similar situation? You have to look at what they're doing or he's doing and determine it's a value proposition or it's a behavior proposition. Meaning, if the things that he's doing, if his behavior is motivated by a subconscious value system that has been permeated throughout his whole entire life, that he can't see what you're saying is the right way to do, then that's a value system, and it's going to be very hard for you to convince him that he's wrong and that you're right, and you might want to consider backing away from that. However, if it's something that he is just a behavior oriented thing and it's something that he's willing to change and willing to do, then you can have the discussion about, is that the correct thing you should be doing? Maybe I can teach you a better way. Maybe I can inform you of some other things to do. And if he's open to that, then that's, I think, worth pursuing and moving forward in the relationship. I'm not talking about the man being inept or anything like that, but in a situation where you make more money and you feel that he is not up to your level money-wise or money management-wise, then you need to consider whether it's his values that's intrinsically motivating what he's doing, or if it's just a operational behavior pattern that he does, that he can modify and improve his behavior, his money management. Okay, so let me know what you think. Comment in the comments below if you agree with Tiffany, if you agree with me, if you have some other points that you wanted to share, or if you saw some other things that you wanted to bring out. And we're going to be talking more about other relationship issues that young adults are going through as they try to navigate this dating arena. We want to have this conversation because we think it's these kind of conversations that will help young adults try to figure out how best to navigate this whole dating space. So hit the subscribe button, hit the like button if you found this video interesting. Okay, we'll be back at you soon with some more videos. Take care.